In the past, emotions in the workplace were considered strictly taboo. If an employee had an emotional issue, it was best left at home, and certainly it had no place in the workplace. In our current working environment, however, studies demonstrate the effect that emotions have on creativity, productivity, and career success. This information has brought to light the significant role that emotions play in a company's ability to perform and compete in the global marketplace. Indeed, the business world has responded with a plethora of audiobooks, books, surveys, and questionnaires, all designed to measure and develop employee emotional intelligence. This new paradigm has executives understanding that the emotions their employees are feeling need to be acknowledged and dealt with. They are no longer considered taboo, nor should employees be expected to leave them at home. The bottom line is, if you do not have emotionally stable employees, then you are costing yourself and your business money. Observation of the modern workplace now shows that management realizes that the organization's success is directly linked to the employee's emotional states. Organizations comprehend that an employee's ability to maintain a positive emotional state is a primary factor in their success or failure. Weiss and Cropenzano developed the effective events theory in 1996. AET states that work-related events that take place in workplaces cause specific emotional reactions in employees, which in turn lead to employee changes in both attitude and behavior. AET is significant because it was the beginning of studying emotions at the personal level within an organization. AET further states that employees who are exposed to hassles and uplifts will experience specific emotional reactions. Employees who have experienced hassles will have a negative emotional response, such as sadness, fear, or anger, and employees who experience an uplift will feel positive emotions such as excitement, pride, or happiness. Each of these emotional reactions lead directly to changes in employee behaviors and attitudes. For an employee to experience a negative shift in consciousness around their job, such as decreased job satisfaction, a hassle must be either recurring or unresolvable. Hassles that occur only some of the time do not strongly influence employee behavior. Most employees are proficient at being able to sort the occasional hassle in the workplace. But if the hassle is ongoing or more permanent, this is where managers observe that the traits of an unhappy employee, such as frustration, rebellious behavior, taking sickies, or performing poorly. So this situation is common in workplaces that display poor leadership, pay substandard wages, and do not reward initiative. The main reason that you need to understand employee emotions is because they directly impact on the 5 major sources of the competitive advantage in today's marketplace. The first competitive advantage is intellectual capital. Any organization's success is directly linked to the knowledge, expertise, and innovative capacity of its workforce. In our current age of innovation based on consumer needs, the knowledge or intellect of an organization is what will be responsible solely for their success. The smart and adaptable are the ones that will flourish. A key role for managers in this climate is to cultivate, manage, and engage the intellectual prowess of their employees. As stated earlier, those employees who feel uplift perform better emotionally and mentally. An employee's ability to contribute creatively is a key component in both the amount and liquidity of an organization's intellectual capacity. An employee's emotional state affects how they think, which directly impacts the amount of intellectual capital. There could be many possible patterns of relationships between hassles and uplifts. For example, people who seek many meaningful experiences or have strong and varied commitments, such as work achievements or social relationships, would be likely to encounter numerous relatively minor victories and failures while actively engaged in their pursuits, and therefore would probably experience a higher incidence of both uplifts and hassles. People with a higher proportion of hassles to uplifts, conversely, might be maladjusted, unhappy, and more frequently ill. This research indicates that employees who experience hassles suffer from more rigid thinking. They are less discerning and less original than those who experience uplift. Often, this rigid thinking is associated with feelings of apathy, dispiritedness, a lack of interest, and decreased energy for the creative process. On the other hand, George and Brief proposed that a positive mood facilitates organizational spontaneity, which includes voluntary behaviors relevant to initiation and innovation, such as making constructive suggestions, developing oneself, and helping co-workers. Those who experience uplift associate feelings of security, power, confidence, and passion. Those feelings are directly linked to their workplace, and as such, Those employees invent new strategies and possibilities, they generate more positive solutions and make better decisions. To effectively compete in an intellectual, knowledge-based and innovation-driven economy, an organization must be able to quickly and easily share information, comprehension, and know-how through the entire organization. The better the liquidity of that intellectual capital, the more freely it is distributed and more effectively it is used, leading to greater success for the organization. To put it bluntly, the employee emotions affect liquidity. An employee experiencing hassles feels insecure, angry, undervalued. They're more likely to contribute their knowledge and know-how for fear of losing their position within the company. The converse is true, that an employee experiencing uplift is more likely to make the intellectual capital liquid, i.e. make it available for others to use, because they feel respected, committed to the organization, and feel safe in their position. The take-home message for an organization is that the negative emotions caused by hassles will adversely affect the intellectual function, capability of their employees' eagerness to share their ideas, knowledge, and know-how with others. The second area is customer service. A whopping 70% of the economy is customer service oriented. Central to an organization's success is their ability to give the customer what they really want, which is excellence. Research based on customer loyalty clearly demonstrates that an organization's success is intimately associated with its ability to deliver service so exceptional that the customer craves more, leading to repeat business. The link between an employee's emotional state when experiencing hassles and their providing less than exceptional customer service is obvious. A negatively charged employee will deliver service that appears abusive, hostile, disinterested, or demoralized. The end result is an extremely negative service interaction and brand damage caused by a negative experience. Research conducted on customer service demonstrates that 68% of customers desert an organization because they perceived that they were treated with an attitude of indifference. The desertion is directly related to the employee emotions, including apathy. So it's logical that if an organization reduces its desertion rate, the bottom line can improve. Beyond the immediate cost of bad service is the cost of losing employees. How much does it cost for an organization to lose an employee? Data drawn from 30 case studies taken over 11 research papers on employee turnover says it costs 20% of the salary when an employee leaves. These costs reflect the loss in the productivity and the departure of the cost of finding the replacement of the reduced productivity while the new employee gets up to speed. The intangible costs are lower morale, poor organization culture, and inevitably higher turnover of employees. The economic consequences of failing to address employee emotions is disastrous. Keeping people in the organization and maintaining their happiness will encourage more people to stay. The third area is organizational responsiveness. Adaptability in the current marketplace is paramount to success. An organization must adapt swiftly to changes in customer demand, trends in the marketplace, and innovative technology. A key component of adaptability is emotional health. Emotions affect how rapidly and flexibly an employee can respond to a situation, and because employees make up your workforce, ultimately emotions are in control of the rapidity and the flexibility of your organization's response to these changes. If your employees are tired, emotionally overwhelmed, or stressed, they are naturally resistant to change. For example, even when logical evidence shows that there is a better way to perform a task, they will remain stuck in outdated patterns of behaviors and exhibit outdated models that have been deemed inefficient. Response to rapid change and adaptability are clearly evident in employees who are secure, safe, and ardent. New technologies are seized with zest and enthusiasm, and change is seen as an opportunity to grow and to expand their current skill set, making them essential to the organization. There is no doubt that the organization's ability to adapt rapidly in the marketplace is directly dependent on the emotional health of their employees. Fourth area is productivity. Many organizations have seized upon the new trend of thriftiness. In this ideal, they would like more done with less. And while this idea is achievable, many organizations misunderstand the driving force behind this, with the goal being attained. Emotion is often referred to as motion, signifying the belief that emotion is energy in motion. This makes logical sense. An employee who is excited to be given an opportunity can readily be observed being more productive than one who is disinterested in the task. The latter will even find problems with their task where there aren't any. On the most basic level, an emotionally content or excited employee experiences uplift, and the net result is increased productivity. The fifth area is employee attraction and retention. If you are not taking care of your valuable assets, your employees, then the headhunters from the competition will have a target on them. The marketplace is ultra competitive, and you do not want your highly skilled employees preferring to work for your opposition after you have trained them. Your organization's success is dependent on its ability to attract and retain high-quality employees by understanding how emotions affect the primary sources of competitive advantage. HR managers are uniquely positioned to assist the team to realize its essential relationship between the employee emotions and profit. Addressing employee emotions is no longer the nice thing to do, but rather an essential component of business that clearly affects your organization's profitability. This is why smart organizations are seeking courses related to their emotional health to better care for their employee emotions and increase the productivity and profitability. So what does this mean for your organization? PricewaterhouseCoopers estimates that between 20 and 30% of the workforce will suffer from a serious mental health problem at some point during their working life, including anxiety, depression, or obsessive compulsive disorder. Mental health conditions cost Australian workplaces $4.7 billion in absenteeism, $6.1 billion in presenteeism, which has been at work longer than necessary, and $145.9 million in compensatory claims. It's estimated that with every $1 spent on effective workplace mental health actions may generate $2.30 in benefits to an organisation, a 2.3% return on investment. In 2017, just 27% of young people were in full-time work compared to 48% 3 decades ago. More than a third were working part-time compared with 13% 30 years ago, and for those with less formal education were less likely to be employed in 2016 than they were in 2008. Forward-thinking organisations are seeking solutions that increase employee safety, morale, and overall happiness. Companies are seeking emotional courses that assist employees to reach this goal. So, how do managers expect their employees to manage their emotions in their workplace? Research indicates that most employees still do not want their co-workers to express any type of strong emotion in the workplace, positive or negative. The research demonstrates that there is still a taboo about emotions, and the only appropriate way to deal with negative emotions in the workplace is for employees to hide them. Even when it comes to positive emotions, those surveyed reported that these emotions should also be expressed in moderation. The easy way to resolve this issue is to provide employees with a quick, easy, and effective way to process emotions that can be done anywhere and anytime without others needing to be involved in the process. So in conclusion, HR managers are best able to assist their employees by creating a harmonious workplace and ensuring that employee emotions are acknowledged and processed. Ideally, companies should seek to implement self-directed procedures that can be used by anyone, anywhere, at any time. Managers should find ways to help their employees to process their emotions and perform their duties better, all of which benefits the organization's bottom line. The ideal employee is the one who is consistently experiencing uplift. Employee emotions clearly influence every aspect of an organization's ability to be successful. What if an employee could quickly and easily process an emotion so that it was transient, allowing them to resume their normal positive and productive emotional state? This would benefit all aspects of your organization. Emotionally balanced employees are happier, more productive, stay in their job longer, and generate a better feel to the company.